This is video 89. Empire Total War, United Provinces. It's the dying wish now of the Marathas. These are the general's bodyguard coming in. The elephants going over the Chevaux de Frise. The other reason why they're dying is I've got lines and lines and lines of infantry shooting in their direction. You can see the range finders there for the infantry as well. I've had to miss out lots and lots of the build up to this because on the previous video you saw plenty of action. After that it's about 20-25, maybe even half an hour of me sitting in my fort waiting for him to come and attack because I didn't set the game length. How many times do I not learn my own lesson? So please, whatever you do when it comes to a turn end, set a game length. It really is important. Anyway, he's brought his artillery very, very close forward, which I suppose is one thing for us because we've got no cavalry at all. So there go his elephants, being fairly easily defeated there, really, I'm afraid. So you haven't seen the elephants do their usual bit of tossing people round, which is quite fun to watch. And what we're going to have to do now is rush our bayonet-armed infantry straight through that gap, straight at his artillery, in order to finish off this battle. It's the only way we're going to finish it, because without a time limit on the game, he'll just stand there all day with that artillery, and the longer I leave it, the more he'll form, and he'll be prepared with canister shots, so we'll end up going all around the back of him and losing loads of men against canister shot and stuff. It's a bit of a nightmare if you don't set a battle length. Normally I don't set a battle length because I think a battle length of say 20 minutes is unreasonable, because this is fairly real time, you know, and I think a few hours really is a decent amount of time for a normal battle. So I think really, you know, just restricting yourself to 20 minutes is a bit daft really, but unfortunately when it's an assault situation like this, the artillery seem to hang on all on their own, which makes the game really quite unrealistic. So I'm going out there to attack him. Luckily I've got some big enough units. I have known it before when I've had to do this. My units have been so small, as soon as they get beyond the walls they run away, you know, because the morale drops because they've no longer got the defence of the walls. So anyway, here's the insert key. This is me going inside this unit just to finish off this this artillery. They've already mounted, limbered up rather. It looks like they're ready to get their guns out of the way as soon as they possibly can. And it looks like that's the artillery breaking. If you remember, I've said, was it last video, the one before, I said it'd be good if I could kill as many of these as I possibly can so that there are fewer to meet. See, pretty good statistics there. And that's where he's going, bundling himself in a corner of Ceylon, and believe you me, he's not going to last very long there. Okay, he's obviously heard about my fleets, so he thought, oh, we'll blockade that port quickly. Now, remember, we're on a turn end. This is the winter of 1720. The Marathas attacked us on their go. This is now Wurttemberg. They're having a go at us now. So again, it's a fortress. I whiz through all the bits where I'm forming. You can see I've done the usual bit between the buildings there. I've formed up my infantry regiments with Chevaux de Frise in front of them. You might have noticed on the screen at the beginning there that he's got lots of infantry, similar to my own regular infantry, and he's got some cavalry as well. He's got no artillery on this one, so I feel fairly safe about leaving my own troops on the walls. So if he gets through those gates, fair enough, he can go charging into that Chevaux de Frise, and we'll do our best to get an infantry unit in there in a square formation, just to make sure that we're safe. He's doing this with a similar number of troops to my own. I mean, he's got more regulars than I have, and he's less burdened with firelock armed citizenry as well. You know, so he's got more, if you like, proper troops, a better standing army, of course. But you know, I can use the advantages of the fort on this one. You know, get them on the walls, manning those guns, firing at the enemy as they come in. It's going to make a big difference for me. I mean, I'll probably take those units that are attacking me down from say 120 to 107, sometimes even down to about 100. So we're knocking off a fifth, you know, before they even get over the walls. Firelock armed infantry on the corners there. Like I said, they're pretty good at manning those guns. Usual score, we're waiting to see which way he goes, as to which way we move our infantry. I thought that he was going both ways, so I've moved my infantry to both walls, starting from a central position. And you can see you can't cover all the walls. You see that infantry unit there, that Wurttemberg unit, that's about to go over the wall just at the point there at the front where they would have opened up the gates for his cavalry to go charging through. Now, really, I'm not too worried about the cavalry going through now anyway, but what I don't want is lots and lots of regular infantry getting through that gate and getting into my main area, especially when I haven't got any men in the centre anyway. Notice it's still the same turn end, so I haven't set a game length. And so luckily he hasn't got any artillery, so it shouldn't last forever, this game. Well, I'll make sure it doesn't anyway, but you know what I mean. It is strongly recommended that, you know, before an end of term, when there are possibilities of sieges, that you set a game length on there. I think I've done enough moaning about that already, haven't I, really? Okay, you see how he's going for different sides? Now he's going up there and I've got nothing there. You see how he's going for the gate as well? He could have gone on either side of that gateway. So I'm rushing some troops across there to meet him. Now last time, if you remember, if you're watching the previous video, you'll have seen that that I simply ran my men up to the area, because I haven't got enough to cover all the walls, ran them up to the area and put them on melee attack. But instead of fighting me, he just ran through me. Obviously he'll have lost casualties in doing it, but all he wanted to do was get in towards the centre, because he's, you know, sort of, like I said, quite fanatic melee infantry. On this occasion, I'm going to go back to the old system, which is you know, just click directly on him and attack him on the walls instead of just getting into position. That will mean that there's less chance of him getting into the centre of the courtyard there, or the compound, whatever you want to call it, the centre of the fortress. There is a risk, though, of course, that I can go over the walls myself. That's what I was saying to you before. If his men start to go backwards, mine will chase him and will actually climb down a wall. It doesn't really matter if you put them on guard, on, you know, the shield there. It'll still happen. I saw a bit of war where it actually had some cavalry up against the wall. I don't know why that was. I didn't see any. They're over there, aren't they? I don't quite know why he's got cavalry over the other side of that. These are my militia infantry in the foreground here, of course, bayonet armed, and defending a wall. They have a distinct advantage over the enemy coming over the on ropes. That's an officer there, you can see in the foreground with his sword. He seems to be doing rather well. Oh, well, he was doing rather well. Oh, I thought he was going to get up then until that second bayonet thrust went in. Here we go, we're over this side here. Now why on earth is he sending cavalry over there when there's no way he can get through? Ah, there you go, that's the reason. My men have gone down the walls. We've charged his men, he's gone backwards. We've actually gone down the walls with the other side of the wall. His cavalry's seen them and he's charged against them. This is one of the problems, really. There's no way, unless you give them a special command, should infantry be, you know, charging down the ropes at the enemy. Not unless they're particularly fanatic infantry, but I believe they're my regulars. It's quite an odd thing to do, but if I just stand them on the wall, melee attack only, like I said to you before, you can just go straight through them. So, well, lose casualties of course, but it would go straight through them. So he's got routing infantry there, that's why I went chasing them, and he's got cavalry there as well. So we'll just put them on the walls, make them missile attack, and we'll shoot the routers and shoot at his cavalry as well at the same time. Great fun. Okay, I'm hoping we should get this battle finished on the next one, and then we should be able to move to the next turn. We're still in the winter of 1720. Summer of 1721 seems very hard to reach at the moment with all these attacks all over the place. Well, it looks as much as one already. Oh no, another large body of infantry. I forgot, they're coming in two waves, aren't they? This is the second wave of his infantry coming now. If you remember, he was attacking from two places, wasn't he? I think his forces have come from the capital of the Wurttemberg province as well. So, looks like we've got a second lot to deal with. and I'm sure we'll have a bit of cavalry on our chevaux de frise again with a bit of luck.